Asking for directions to the bus station. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about a very useful topic: how to ask for directions to the bus station. When we travel or visit a new place, we often need to use public transportation. The bus is a common and affordable way to get around. But sometimes, finding the bus station can be tricky, especially in a new city. That's why it's important to know how to ask for directions. Let's start with some basic words and phrases we'll need. First, we have bus station. This is the place where buses stop to pick up and drop off passengers. We also need to know words like street, road, corner, traffic light, and building. These words help us describe locations and give directions. Now, let's think about why we might need to ask for directions to the bus station. Maybe we're tourists visiting a new city, or perhaps we've moved to a new town and don't know our way around yet. Sometimes, even in our own city, we might need to go to a bus station we've never been to before. When we need to ask for directions, it's important to be polite. We should always start with a greeting and a polite phrase. For example, we can say, "Excuse me, could you help me?" Or, "Hello, I'm a bit lost. Can you assist me?" This shows respect and makes people more likely to want to help us. Let's practice some ways to ask for directions to the bus station. 1. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the bus station? 2. Hi there. I'm looking for the bus station. Do you know where it is? 3. Hello. I'm a bit lost. Can you give me directions to the bus station? Please. 4. Good morning. I'm new in town. Could you help me find the bus station? 5. Pardon me. I'm trying to find the bus station. Is it far from here? These are all polite ways to start a conversation and ask for help. Remember, it's always good to smile and look friendly when you're asking for help. This makes people more comfortable and willing to assist you. Now, let's think about what kind of information we might need when asking for directions. We might want to know: 1. How far away the bus station is. 2. Which direction to go. 3. What landmarks to look for. 4. If we need to take any turns. 5. How long it might take to get there. When someone gives us directions, they might use phrases like: 1. Go straight ahead. 2. Turn left/right at the traffic light. 3. It's about a 10-minute walk from here. 4. You'll see a big red building on your left. 5. Keep going until you reach the park. It's a good idea to listen carefully and maybe even repeat the directions back to the person to make sure you understood correctly. You could say something like, "So, I go straight, turn left at the traffic light, and the bus station is next to the park. Is that right?" Sometimes, people might use landmarks to help give directions. A landmark is a building or place that's easy to recognize. For example, they might say, "The bus station is right across from the big blue library." Or, "You'll see a tall clock tower. The bus station is right behind it." Landmarks can be very helpful in finding your way. If the directions seem complicated, don't be afraid to ask the person to repeat them. You can say, "I'm sorry. Could you say that again, please?" Or, "Could you explain that one more time? I want to make sure I understand." Most people are happy to repeat directions if you ask politely. It's also a good idea to thank the person for their help. You can say, "Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it." Or, "Thanks a lot. You've been very kind." This shows good manners and leaves a positive impression. Now, let's talk about some things to remember when you're asking for directions. 1. Speak clearly. When you're asking for help, try to speak slowly and clearly. This is especially important if you're in a country where English isn't the first language. 2. Use simple language. Don't worry about using fancy words. Simple, clear language is best when asking for directions. 3. Pay attention to body language. People often use hand gestures when giving directions. They might point or use their hands to show which way to turn. Watch these gestures as they can be very helpful. 4. Write things down. If the directions seem complicated, ask if you can write them down. You could say, "Do you mind if I write this down? I don't want to forget." 5. Use your phone. If you have a smartphone, you can ask the person to show you on a map app. You might say, "I have Google Maps on my phone. Could you show me where the bus station is on the map?" 6. Look for signs. While you're walking, keep an eye out for signs pointing to the bus station. Many cities have signs to help people find important places. 7. Don't be afraid to ask again. If you get lost or confused, it's okay to ask someone else for help. You can say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but I think I'm lost. Can you help me find the bus station?" Now, let's practice a conversation about asking for directions to the bus station. Imagine you're in a new city and need to find the bus station. You see a friendly-looking person on the street and decide to ask for help. Excuse me, could you help me find the bus station? Friendly person, of course. Are you looking for the main bus station? Yes, that's right. I need to catch a bus to the next town. Friendly person, okay, it's not too far from here. Do you see that tall building with the clock on top? Yes, I can see it. Friendly person, great. You need to walk towards that building. It's about 2 blocks away. When you get there, turn right onto Main Street. Okay, so I go towards the clock tower and then turn right on Main Street. What next? Friendly person, after you turn right, you'll see a big park on your left. Keep walking past the park. The bus station is right after the park, on the same side of the street. I see. So it's near the park. How long do you think it will take to walk there? Friendly person, it should take about 10 minutes if you walk at a normal pace. The bus station has a big blue sign, so you can't miss it. That's very helpful. So just to make sure I understood, I go towards the clock tower, turn right on Main Street, past the park, and then I'll see the bus station with a big blue sign. Friendly person, that's exactly right. You've got it. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. Friendly person, you're welcome. Have a safe trip. This conversation shows a typical exchange when asking for directions. Notice how the person asking for help repeats the directions to make sure they understood correctly. This is a good practice to follow. Now, let's talk about what to do if you get lost even after asking for directions. It happens to everyone sometimes, so don't worry. Here are some steps you can take. 1. Don't panic. Stay calm. Getting upset won't help you find your way. 2. Look for landmarks. Try to find one of the landmarks the person mentioned when giving you directions. This can help you figure out where you went wrong. 3. Ask again. Don't be embarrassed to ask someone else for help. You can say, "I'm sorry, I think I'm lost. I'm trying to find the bus station. Can you help me?" 4. Use technology. If you have a smartphone with internet access, you can use a Maps app to help you find your way. 5. Look for a taxi. If you're really lost and need to get to the bus station quickly, you can always take a taxi. Just tell the driver you need to go to the bus station. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice asking for directions, the more comfortable you'll become. You can practice with friends or family members. Take turns giving and following directions. This can be a fun way to learn and improve your skills. Here are some more useful phrases you might hear when getting directions. 1. It's just around the corner. 2. You can't miss it. 3. It's a stone's throw away. 4. It's within walking distance. 5. It's a straight shot from here. These phrases are common in English conversations about directions. Just around the corner means it's very close. You can't miss it means it's easy to see or find. A stone's throw away also means it's very close. Within walking distance means you can easily walk there. A straight shot means you can go directly there without turning. It's also good to know how to ask for more specific information. Here are some questions you might want to ask. 1. Is it far from here? 2. Do I need to cross any big streets? 3. Are there any landmarks I should look out for? 4. Is there a shorter way to get there? 5. Will I be able to see it from the street? These questions can help you get more detailed directions and make it easier to find your way. Now, let's talk about some cultural differences you might encounter when asking for directions in different countries. In some places, people might use different landmarks or ways of giving directions. For example, 1. In some countries, people might use cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, more often. 2. In other places, people might give directions based on well-known shops or restaurants instead of street names. 3. Some cultures might consider it rude to point with your finger, so people might use their whole hand or even their chin to indicate direction. It's always good to be aware of these differences and to be respectful of local customs. As we come to the end of our discussion about asking for directions to the bus station, let's recap the main points. 1. Always be polite when asking for help. 2. Use clear, simple language. 3. Pay attention to landmarks and street names. 4. Repeat the directions back to make sure you understood. 5. Thank the person for their help. 6. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification or to ask someone else if you get lost. Remember, everyone needs help with directions sometimes. It's a normal part of traveling or being in a new place. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become in asking for and following directions. Asking for directions is also a great way to practice your English skills. It involves listening, speaking, and understanding. Each time you ask for directions, you're improving your language abilities. In conclusion, knowing how to ask for directions to the bus station is an important skill for anyone learning English. It's practical, useful, and can help you navigate new places with more confidence. Whether you're a tourist, a student in a new city, or just exploring your own town, being able to ask for and understand directions is incredibly valuable. So, next time you need to find the bus station, remember these tips and phrases. Don't be shy about asking for help. Most people are happy to assist a friendly, polite person who needs directions. And who knows, you might even make a new friend in the process. Thank you for listening to this lesson on asking for directions to the bus station. I hope you found it helpful and that you feel more confident about asking for directions in English. Remember to practice whenever you can, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn and improve. Good luck with your English studies and happy travels.